Everyone listen. I have an important announcement. Here's the scoop. Get pumped up out of your gourd and get ready to squash all doubt about pumpkins. Let's give them pumpkins to talk about. Today on Adventures with Alchemy. Okay, time for cocktails. So, before we start making the cocktail, we're gonna do a virgin version first, because I mean, all it takes is just add the booze and then it's no longer a virgin drink, it is a cocktail. This is a type of painkiller. It is not a painkiller. Painkillers have Pussers in it, specifically Pusser's rum. So if it's not Pusser's rum, it cannot be a painkiller. This is going to be what I call the Great Rumpkin. It is a variation of a painkiller that involves most of the same ingredients as a painkiller, but it's not. It has coconut, pineapple juice, pineapple syrup, then we have our orange juice, and just a little sprinkle of pumpkin spice. You are going to do 2 ounces of pineapple juice, half an ounce of OJ, half an ounce of pumpkin spice, and half an ounce of coconut. Normally I would do a full ounce of coconut, but because I don't want to make this way wickedly sweet on you, we're just gonna do half. So in here we have 2 kinds of ice. We have regular ice and then we have crushed ice in the bag. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna shake it with regular ice and then we're gonna strain it over crushed ice. Separate our crushed from our regular. So let's do our version one first. All nice and ready. Till it's nice and frosty, and strain over the top. You can also blend this in the blender and it'll be wonderful. Now, you'll notice that there's some room. That's because this is designed to have alcohol in it. So I'm just gonna top it off with just a little bit more pineapple. You could also top it off with a little ginger ale or Sprite. That's also really nice. And then we're just gonna sprinkle it. Just like that. And boom, there's your virgin drink. This is your virgin Great Rumpkin. You can call it the Great Pumpkin for the kids, okay? So Great Pumpkin, delicious, refreshing. If you're expecting or if there's a reason why you just can't drink, you can make one of those and it'll look like you're drinking. So, you know, really nice. Now for the grown-ups. Same thing as you just saw, but I'm gonna take it through it again. 2 ounces of pineapple, half an ounce of coconut, half an ounce of pumpkin, half an ounce of OJ, half an ounce of plantation, an ounce and a half of some good high proof rum. I love Lost Spirits. If you've never been to Lost Spirits, it's in Los Angeles in the Arts District. It is a phenomenal distillery. If you've ever seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, imagine that, but with booze. Yeah, I know. Check it out. So, ounce and a half. Now, the reason why I'm going harder on the strong stuff is because this is a very sweet drink. I want you to be able to taste the ingredients, but I want this to kind of balance out that sweetness a little bit. The bitterness, the oakiness, the body. I want it to all complement each other, but I also want it to balance each other out. So, let's fill our drinking vessel with our crushed ice. Whether it be a tiki mug or a glass you have lying around, you know, rocks glass or something. Fill it with some crushed ice. Get your regular ice. And put some into your cocktail. Ah, beautiful. Okay, as you can see, nice and frothy on the top, a little bit of a darkness, but still cloudy from the coconut. And we are just gonna top this off with a little pumpkin spice to make everything nice. And that is it, my friends. Cheers to October, cheers to fall, And cheers to everything that's pumpkin until we are sick of it, okay? So, it wouldn't be a pumpkin show, pumpkin spice show, whatever, if we didn't do some sort of pumpkin pastry. I like cookies. Pumpkin cookies are delicious. They're like little pumpkin sponge cakes. They're amazing. And if you make them right, they are just fluffy little angels that tickle your belly. They're amazing. And it's easy to make. So, something you should definitely try. And it's really good with cream cheese frosting, which we're gonna make next. And it's important that you remember to let the cookies cool down first before adding your frosting, or the frosting will go not so good. So, let's begin by making our cookies, shall we? We have 3/4 of a cup of brown and light sugar. Light granulated sugar is just fine. We have a teaspoon of both baking powder and baking soda. We have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a teaspoon and a half of pumpkin spice. We have a cup of pumpkin puree, Libby's is fine. We have 1 egg. We have a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We have a half a cup of unsalted butter. Finally, granulated sea salt, half a teaspoon. So, take your bowl, and we're gonna begin with our wet ingredients. We're gonna take our sugars. As you see, we already have them together. We have our white and brown, and just put it in together. We are then gonna add our butter, and just put it on in there. Next, we are going to just cream it, okay? Just put it on in there. Always lock it. Set it to about 2. Start slow and just work your way up. Next, we're gonna add our pumpkin. Next, you wanna add your vanilla extract. And then you wanna add your egg. Make sure everything is smooth and creamy. Okay, now we have this whisked and going. Hopefully you wanna keep this going for the sake of doing the show. We're just gonna stop it for a split second. But we're gonna take all our dry now. Baking powder, 2.5 cups of flour. White all-purpose flour is fine. Baking soda, salt. And we're just gonna mix this up really well with a fork. If you have a sifter, I highly recommend using a sifter for this. Now that you have your dry, again, we haven't added our cinnamon and our pumpkin spice yet. We're just gonna start adding it little by little, and then we're gonna add our pumpkin spice as we go, little by little. A minute at a time. So, now that you've incorporated all your ingredients, let's take a look at how this should look, okay? And lock your safety. Go ahead and take your wisp out. You can kind of see roughly, it's like a cake batter. A little fluffier. It shouldn't be like over whipped. It would be too aerated, almost like a whipped cream. This is not quite that. This is just under that. This is stiff and firm, but not excessively. It's just fluffy. You can feel how light it is. I'm gonna show you a way to do it if you don't have those little scoops I was talking about. Basically, we're going to integrate a bar tool with a baking tool. Take your tablespoon, take a bar spoon, and yeah, just use this to go around like that. You know, get your little circle, and then just come off of it onto the sheet like this. So we got all of them on a sheet. It should be about 2 sheets worth of cookies. We're gonna pop them in at 350 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. Just keep a lookout for them. They're gonna look like little spongy molds. You'll see. If you did it right with your scoop, you'll get these nice little round perfect ones. If you didn't like me, they're gonna be all kinds of shapes. So just wait a little while, check it out. And then yeah, once they're golden brown, orange is kind of a bright orange, golden brown, a little bit, you'll see. Take them out, let them cool, and then we'll get into the cream cheese frosting right now. See you in a bit. Okay, so now that our cookies are in the oven and they're baking, take this time to mise en place your frosting. We are gonna do 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm gonna do 4 ounces of cream cheese, 4 tablespoons of softened butter, unsalted, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 ounce, maybe slightly less, of rum. That was me. And then a little sprinky sprink of sea salt. So this is easy. Throw it all in the bowl, whisk it together till it's creamy, taste it, put it in a piping bag, and yeah, wait till your cookies are cold. Not even when they're warm, cold before you put the stuff on, or else again. So, cream cheese, sugar, butter, vanilla, rum, cheers, salt. So we got all our goodies in there. Let's whip it. Whip it good. So take your goodies, get ready to put it in a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag for some reason, try to get yourself at least a piping tip, and then get yourself a Ziploc bag. All you have to do is cut off a little bit of the corner, and yeah, just put it through, and there you go. You got a homemade piping bag. Little pro tip for you. If you don't have either, then just take a spoon and go for it, yeah? There is an answer to everything. So, cup it over your hand like this, and just go for it. And there you go. Now, where are those cookies? Well, we have our cookies. They are quite lovely. They're nice and cool now, ready to be decorated. Take your frosting and just slowly just kind of put it over the top like that and just decorate. So, as you can see, they're nicely decorated. Nothing too extravagant. Then we just take a little pumpkin spice and just kind of go over the top, make it pretty. There you have it. You know, some homemade pumpkin spiced cookies with a rum cream cheese pumpkin frosting. All right. Enjoy. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? Oh, decisions. I want that one. So good. It's like a moist cake. Like a crunchy outside, but just slightly. If you freeze the ones you're not eating before they're frosted, they're good for about 2 or 3 months. Don't let these sit out for too long. They don't last long. That's about it. Enjoy.